Hello, welcome to Soul Fitness Divas, you Soul Fitness Divas and you Soul Fitness Knights. Yes, it's war. We've got this huge battle going on in the raw food community amongst the big raw food gurus here on YouTube. And I wanted to share my thoughts for those of you who are starting out with raw food, or for those of you who may have been, experimenting with raw food for a while and you're trying to figure out what's right for you. I have some concerns and I'd like to go ahead and share them with you. Just to start off, again, the leaders are divided. I want to do it this way, the 80-10-10 diet. Well, I think you should do it this way, where, you should be 100% raw. I think that, whatever, the whole dogma thing is, there's just been sparks flying on YouTube. Now, there's also been a call to unity, which I think was absolutely beautiful, wonderful. But then there was an instigator who has been making trouble and bullying people, cyberbullying people, harassing people, embarrassing people, humiliating them for quite some time now. And all of this just creates confusion. You're just learning, about this raw food thing, or maybe you got some type of healing or recovery or correction or whatever, but you're still trying to find your way. And I really am concerned, because people, tend to look up to other people, and it kind of compares to, like, organized religion, but the extremist organized religious groups. And this confusion is not necessary. It is so not necessary, but it is happening and it is sad. But this is the part where you need to really just watch and look after yourself. Keep an eye out, look after yourself. Know that these people are only human, they are not God, and that, you need to, do your work, do your experimentation, and find out what is right for you. Now, I want to talk about science right now. I want to mention Dr. Dean Ornish, for example. He is the MD who is the author of the book Reversing Heart Disease, and he's worked, since the 90s he's worked with people, promoting the a vegan lifestyle, and he's given people back their health, for all this time, and that still stands. I want to mention the Wellness Forum, with Dr. Pam Popper. She has gotten people well from MS, diabetes, heart disease, which ran in her family, until she stopped the cycle with herself. And I had the experience of going to see her speak in Columbus, Ohio, and she completely turned her life around. She's a yoga instructor, and she's got her own YouTube channel, and she was featured in the documentaries Forks Over Knives and Processed People, where, you saw, what she did, the work that she does with the Wellness Forum. And these people are cooked vegans, and the point I'm trying to make here is to get you to see through the dogma. If these people have gotten well, they've gone from being obese, they had MS, multiple sclerosis, they've had, you know, diabetes, and all that stuff is reversed. And they did all that on a cooked diet. And I'm not trying to get you to get on a cooked diet. I'm just trying to get you to look at a couple of things. You know, if 100% raw food was the only way, or 80-10-10 was the only way, how did these people get well? How did they get well? I want to mention the documentary, Raw for 30 Days, that featured Woody Harrelson. I believe it was Dr. Gabriel Cousins' documentary. At the end of the video, there were people who had, financial issues or economic issues. And if you pay attention, at the end of the video, he's telling the people to go ahead and use the canned beans if that's the only thing they could do, because of, whatever their financial situation was. He told people, that they didn't have to do all organic vegetables. A lot of people are struggling out there. A lot of people are hurting. And, there are some vegetables, like, vegetables with a hard shell around them where, the pesticides don't penetrate as much. But basically, you have to kind of reason, and you have to reason, and you have to remember, okay, or think, all right, here's the Big Mac, okay, and here's the can of garbanzo beans. Here's the Whopper and the fries, and then here is the, I don't know, a bunch of carrots, but they're not organic. You have to think. There's better, there's best. Fresh is always best. There's better, and then there's the absolute horrible. And these people were able to make differences in their lives. Another point I want to make is watch Asian people, do the research, and know this, that they outdo Westerners in the health department by leaps and bounds. They are thriving, they are healthier, they are more active in their senior years, and that is no lie. Do the research yourself, see for yourself. Okay, and so there's another contradiction. It's like, okay, if strict raw food veganism was the only way to go, then how is it that Asians are outliving us right now, today, and have been, since forever? And these Asian people eat small amounts of animal protein, huge intake of plant-based food, and they eat white rice. And they are not anywhere near our statistics with heart disease, diabetes, and all these other, Western diseases. How does that happen? My point is that there are many paths. And this is obvious because, Dr. Dean Ornish got these people well. Dr. Pam Popper of the Wellness Forum, and then all the other teachers on Forks Over Knives and Processed People are getting people well. We've got, Asians, African people from the developed parts of Africa do not get, these Western diseases. I mean, they are thriving into their elderly years, and we are not. My concern is that you could get caught up in the dogma. And this is a real sore spot with me because I was raised in an extremist religion. And let me just get rid of this commercial here. I was raised in the Jehovah's Witness cult. And all of the stuff that they're doing on these, strict raw food forums where people are getting kicked off and, they're not speaking to people, or someone, developed some type of B12 deficiency and they tried to do everything they could, sticking to raw food, and finally came to a point where they had to reintroduce some animal products into their diet, and then they got well. And that's just, certain individuals. Some people, after being on the raw food diet, and they do it right, they don't overdo the fat. I mean, they're doing, right, being that they did a balanced approach. But when they added, animal products back to their diet, they were able to thrive again. I mean, this is happening. It's happened, and it's happening. And how are they thriving? How is this happening? You have to think. And I want to talk about my story. I'm not in any way saying that, well, what I can tell you about my own personal story is that, when I was doing, the whole foods cooked thing only, my blood pressure was lowered, lower than normal, because it started to go up. It was like borderline, and then, as a result of what I did, it's below normal. Now, the next thing is my cholesterol was also borderline, and with exercise and, a cooked whole foods diet, it brought it right down. So how did that happen if that's the only way to go? On the other hand, when the arthritis happened, the raw food did things that it was just amazing what happened. I mean, I wasn't able to walk, to climb stairs. I talk about this in all my videos. I introduced raw food in the form of juicing mainly, and then huge salads later on, the dark leafy greens, and it has done wonders. I'm exercising and working out and taking long walks and climbing stairs and doing all those things, again, because of the raw food. So it was a combination of both. And if there was only one way, then these people would not be getting well. Now, I'm concerned about too much too fast. The dogma, whipping people, and it's like, well, I'm having these bad symptoms. Well, just keep doing it anyway. You have to be the judge. You have to really go within and just use your intuition and listen to you, and not put these gurus to this like godlike status. I need to check and make sure I have enough time. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do a part 2 to this, but I want you to remember, to use this and to not look up to these people like they are God, and I will see you at part 2. I'll see you at part 2.